All right, so hello to everybody. Thanks for coming. I'm Marija Zaric, a freelance web designer from Belgrade, Serbia. And today I will talk about atomic design in responsive design, or how I use that concept when building websites. Just a few words about me. I have been working as a freelance web designer for the last couple of years, collaborating with the clients from USA and all over the world. I am creating Bootstrap templates for the international market. I love Bootstrap. How many of you love Bootstrap here? Yes, all right. So I was also a technical reviewer for the books about responsive design and Bootstrap. And I love sharing knowledge on meetups, events, conferences. So I'm very happy to be here. How many of you have heard about atomic design? Everybody. All right. Atomic design is a methodology for crafting the design systems in web design. Until 2010, we have created fixed websites for desktop and laptop computers. And back then, we had to create good user experience. How many of you also have been creating websites around 2007, 8, 6? Oh, wow. So you remember those days when we were building a website, we were testing it on various browsers, and of course, something wasn't working in Internet Explorer 6 or 7, at least in my case, and then you needed a few days to fix it, or a week. Well, luckily for us, the time have changed. Browsers are updated, and web design has evolved so much in visuals and in code, thanks to responsive design. For the last couple of years, web design is responsive design, or responsive design is web design. Therefore, we have new challenges. We are not designing pages. Can you hear me now? Yeah, of course. We are not designing pages. We're designing systems of components. What does it mean actually? It means that we are fragmenting the website into its smallest elements as the building blocks. And from that part, we start to work further on. Atomic design concept was created by Brad Frost, a web developer, who divided elements of atomic design into the following categories: atoms, molecules, organisms, templates, and pages. Atoms. What are the atoms on the pages? They are the smallest elements. They are colors, text, images, buttons, input forms. Atoms are connecting and creating molecules. What are the molecules on the pages? A navigation, then a logo that is linked to the homepage. So logo is the smallest element. If it is linked to the homepage, then it is the molecule. A hero section, a background image with the typography or the button, or a background color with the same. All right. An image with the text, or a video with the text, or an interactive image, or a group of text are also molecules on the pages as well. I'll go through some screenshots of the website I have been working on, and I will talk more about the elements of atomic design on these examples. It was a portfolio website with a couple of pages created with Bootstrap and in HTML and CSS. So we'll talk about atomic design on these examples. So what do we have here? We have first the smallest elements: colors, text, images. What are the molecules here? A logo at the top, then a navigation is the second molecule. The third molecule is a hero section, background color with the typography and the line beneath. These images that you see, they are just the smallest elements. They don't have any interaction, nor a text, so they're just in atoms. I hate the microphone, sorry. All right, molecules are connecting and creating complex organisms. What are the organisms on the pages? A header, different sections of the pages, a footer. Is that clear until now? Is it all clear? Do you have any questions from the crowd? No? All right. Don't be afraid. Just go back. What is an organism here? Can I ask you? What is an organism here? Based on what I said. What? Actually, a logo, a navigation, and the hero section. A logo, a navigation, and the hero section. Yeah, that is a header as a reusable pattern for inner pages as well. Yeah. This is the second screenshot of the portfolio website, and this is a biography organism that is on the home page. What do we have here? We have the smallest elements, the text. We have the line. And the button is on the home page. It cannot be seen here in the screenshot, so that is online. What are the molecules here? Again, I'm asking you. I like interactivity, so it's not only I'm here to talk. We are sharing the knowledge. So what are the molecules here first, then the organism? Can somebody tell me from the crowd? People, come on. Interactivity we want. What are the molecules here, based on what I said? Yes.
Every one of the three are a molecule, I would say, and the whole thing would be an organism.
So the first molecule is education with some text and resume. That's the first. The second, languages with the resume, and the third, computer literacy with the resume. Yes, altogether an organism. Again, works organism that is on the home page of the portfolio website, which consists first of the smallest elements: colors, text, images. What are the molecules here? A hero section is the first molecule. Some background color with the typography in the line beneath. These images that you see, they are molecules. They are interactive, each of them. And when you click, you will go to the certain page. For example, when you click on the first image, you will go to the book covers page. When you click on the second, you will go to the catalogs. When you click on the third, you will go to the brand identity. When you click on the fourth, you will go to the My China. Altogether, an organism. So we have the first molecule, the second, third, fourth, fifth. Templates. Templates are consisting of the group of organisms to create the pages. With the templates, the design system are coming together. What are the pages? Finally, we come to the pages. Pages are the containers filled with all the elements that client requires. Is that clear to you? Have questions, people. That's why I'm here. Ask. All right, so this is, page. Just a part of the home page, just a part of it that is uploaded online. It's a finished website. While I was reading about atomic design, it was all very clear to me. Though I wanted to find an alternative in its terminology. So we have atoms, molecules, organisms, and the cat was wondering that too. Yeah, the cat is still wondering. She will stop at any moment, wait. So, here are the alternatives. So atoms are the smallest elements. Molecules or components as another alternative in terminology. Maybe it's easier for you to remember that, I suppose. Organisms or modules as another alternative. Templates are the layouts, the structure of the pages. Pages is the finished website with the real content. All right. Is that clear? Is that clear to you right now, so far? All right. I think that it's simple, though each of us has our own way of using that concept. All right. So how do I start? I forget mockups. How many of you are sending mockups to the clients? Few, little. All right. On the one hand, I think that sending mockups to the clients was fine when we were building fixed websites. When we started creating responsive websites, I think it is time wasting. So you're creating a bunch of mockups, you're sending to the clients, then they want some updates, and then again, you're making again maybe some updates, and you're really wasting your time. So I skip Photoshop, which I use for images and logos. And I go straight into HTML and CSS because coding is fun. How many of you think that coding is fun? Whoa, everybody, thank you. And start testing or designing in the browser. I use Dreamweaver as a software tool for the creation of the websites for the last 11 years, which I really recommend. I know there's Sublime, Dreamweaver. There is Sublime software and others as well, but really Dreamweaver is, to me, it is created for the websites. So, designing in the browser. Designing in the browser means seeing the design in the devices as soon as possible. As soon as possible, see the design in the surrounding in which it will work. According to one statistics, more than 50% of mobile users use their mobile devices to search for information via internet. And maybe a couple of you are now searching, as I see. More than 70% of tablet owners buy things online every week via their device, which means what? That design should be in the browser. Therefore, I'm sending HTML demos to the clients instead of mockups. So all of you are designing in the browser, I suppose. How many of you are designing in the browser here? All right. Yeah. Thank you. Here are some of the advantages. First of all, you will be much faster. The second, you will cut the development time. What is really, really essential is that your clients will have much better understanding of the design once you send them a link with a demo. Index.html, the homepage, then, for example, about HTML services and so on. Do you agree with that, that your clients will have much better understanding of the design once you send them a link with the demo instead of mockup? Do you agree? Yeah, okay. Blending of creativity and coding in web design is quite a challenge nowadays, isn't it? I would like some music in the background. All right, so why you should use atomic design in web design? Maybe you're wondering, but why you should use, I would say rather this way, why you should use atomic design in web design in my way. First of all, you can mix and match the components and modules from the finished projects for the future one. Plus, of course, what the client wants, plus your creativity. The second of all, there will be quicker interactive prototyping. You will send to the clients HTML demos as the tested templates, where your designs will be accurate 90%. You can easily show changes without having to alter the entire page. Again, I will ask you, do you agree with that? All right. Is atomic design the future of web design? He's wondering, and I'm wondering that too. It is, in terms of creating better design process that will help us to make responsive websites in a productive and efficient way. Here is the whole process of mine, which consists of more than few steps. Do you have any questions so far? Come on, interactivity, come on. No, you don't have. All right. So, the first step is listen. Communication skills are crucial. If there is no good cooperation, you will lose a lot of time and energy in the project. In this step, you will find out how many pages the client wants to, what are their design requirements, what is the budget, the final deadline, to whether they prepared the content for the website. Because if they didn't, never send them a lorem ipsum text in the design. How many of you do that? How many of you send lorem ipsum text instead of the real content? Well, find some quotes. For example, about photography, nature, technology, design, knowledge, whatever, and put it inside the text to see how it fits inside the structure of the page. It is recommended to work with the real content, not lorem ipsum. Some of my clients who had a knowledge of HTML and CSS wanted to make an updates by themselves. Others who had a knowledge of WordPress admin panel, I use that CMS, wanted the same too. Others wanted me to make an updates. It depends from one client to another. Overall, good communication skills and collaboration are the most important. Let's go back. The second step is discover or research, depending on the type of the project or the client's requirements. It could be finding a new responsive framework, some design inspiration, some functionality, plugin. After the first two steps, I create the concept of the website in my mind without using any wireframes and mockups. And as I said it before, I go straight into HTML and CSS. I open Dreamweaver with some finished project of mine where I reuse the templates from that project, so that finished project for the future one for the current one that I'm working on, plus I'm modifying them based on what the client wants. So I'm recycling some finished project of mine. All right. We are already using great design systems. They are responsive frameworks with pre-built components that are helping us to create responsive websites in a faster way. So Bootstrap, Foundation, Skeleton, Responsive, they are already great design systems. We're already using these systems because they have the components with whom we can create these websites. Which frameworks I use? I use Bootstrap and Responsive framework. Bootstrap is still the most used framework, no matter what they say about this, about Bootstrap, whatever. I like very much Bootstrap, and it has a very large community. Responsive framework is the framework with a very lightweight code. So again, how many of you use Bootstrap? How many of you use Responsive framework? You haven't heard about it. Yeah, it's again, it has a very lightweight code. You have a lot of templates, and you can use them for your future projects, as it is the Bootstrap already. All right. So I start testing from the first molecules. So I use the templates from the finished project, where I have these molecules or the components, and I start testing from them to another molecules, and another, and another, and another, in the devices and browsers from the very start. I don't waste my time. All right. The group of tested molecules are creating the tested organisms or modules. The group of tested modules are creating the tested templates that I'm sending to the clients as HTML demos via my website or via their website, depending on how we agree. Of course, only they can see the links. All right. So I do all the tweaks and updates inside the code. I send to the clients the home page within 2 to 3 days, and after a couple of days of reviewing it, I start working on inner pages as well. Or if I'm creating a one-page website, it is the same process too. And I never had any issues working like that with the clients, ever. And finally, once the client is happy with the project, I upload it on server. It is online, live, and that is the finished website with the pages. Thus, I'm recycling in that finished project and all of my finished projects and the Bootstrap templates as the templates for the future projects. Questions? Come on, people. Do you have any questions? You're asking yourself something right now? Yeah.
Did you ever find you were sharing your demos with
No. Can you, yeah.
So if people have questions, we can do them at the end because we have people from all around the world streaming in. So they're asking you questions. I will just ask you at the end. Is that okay?
So, yeah. I know what he asked me. He asked me if I find it early to send a demo to the client. Yes. No. Because you will see all the bugs from the very moment within 2 days. 3, the client will test it in all the devices. So how many devices you have, in your home, and the clients from around the world? I'm talking about collaboration with the international clients, not the local. For example, they have 2 devices, but the international clients have 20 devices. So once when you start, you send them just that skeleton, like a template, and then they see in 2 to 3 days what you have to work on. And then I'm, for example, updating it, and then again sending to the clients, and then I start within a week to create maybe the 3rd page, the 2nd. It's better to think that way. It's faster. You will be more productive than sending mockups. Eventually, I never understood why are we creating mockups? Who invented that? Web design and then a mockup, and the Photoshop was never oriented toward web design. If that is your process, please use Fireworks. It is created for wireframes, mockups, prototypes. Photoshop isn't. It's, let's say, maybe hard for that thing. This is faster. This is created for that. On the other hand, web designer has to be somebody who knows how to code. So that's the first thing. That's like a language in terms of rebuilding, creating something that will work. That's my opinion. If you want to be a web designer, first learn how to code, and then you have some kind of creativity, and then other CMSs, PHP, and so on, whatever you would like to work. But please remember that good communication skills and collaboration are the most important. That first step is really, really important. If you don't manage to create that good communication, you will really lose time. How many of you have happened to have that bad communication with the clients from hell? Yeah. And the good clients, there are. Yes. So we are creating the systems of fragments that will connect to build the components, modules, and templates that we can reuse all over again. So basically, when I talk about atomic design, I talk in my way. So I'm recycling all these molecules, components from the finished project for the future one. I don't want to create a new CSS. Why would you do that? You're wasting again your time. You start from some finished project, and then you're rebuilding it for the client, plus your creativity and so on. And it's so better that way, and it's so efficient that way, that it's very interesting and challenging, I think. Atomic design in 1 to 2 years. Atomic design in 1 to 2 years will be a better approach of creating websites in a modular and effective way, where each aspect of user experience is considered, from buttons to navigation, grid, content, sections of the pages, to the harmony and balance of the website, because design is not just how it looks, it is how it works. Yes, we have to create some modern design in balance, in harmony, but with the web design, it's all about how it works with so many devices that we now have. I will just finish it by saying, I love graffiti art, so we have a beautiful graffiti art, street art in our country, so come and see. Yeah. Yeah, beautiful, and the previous one and this one. But now this one has gone. So it's what it happens with the street art, but it's really, really beautiful. So I will just finish it by saying thank you for coming, for listening. Thank you for inviting me. I will just finish it by saying have a persistence, not quitting when the going gets tough, because if if I wouldn't stand here if I didn't have a persistence, a lot of dedication, be a relentless learner, always learn, embrace knowledge, learn your whole life, all right? And have a great enthusiasm in what you do. Because this world, this peculiar, wonderful earth, laying in her cradle of stars, I love sci-fi, belongs to the enthusiast. So be the one. Thank you.
So we have lots of questions for you. Yeah.
Was I funny? Okay.
Yeah. Should we see if we can get this mic to work again so we can talk?
I did something, probably.
Let me have a look.
Now it's gonna work.
Bear with us.
It's working now.
Yeah. So we just clip it a bit higher, maybe.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear us?
I just had to do this.
Great.
It would be great if I did this with the microphone. I can't imagine how I look like on the video with the microphone. Okay.
Like a pop singer.
Yeah.
So how do you prevent every site you make from looking the same if you reuse other projects and Bootstrap?
Again, I think there are so many questions about that thing, like the websites are the same. The same are trends in terms of a hero section, for example, in terms of the grid. I do like Bootstrap. The client doesn't care if you use skeletal Bootstrap foundation or something like that. The client wants it to be created in their way. They want something simple and modern. I think that, I like that simplicity nowadays. For the last couple of years, I really like web design. I don't think that they look the same in terms of, yes, the trends are the same. Yes, the people are using Bootstrap. Maybe they're a little bit lazy to create something new. But it always depends from one client to another. The client wants an information. So, for example, the hair salon wants the information for the prices and so on. You can create from that template to another one. They won't ask you that. They want to be presented online. So that is not, to me, I like art, but this is not the art in that artistic way that we are used to. So we're not creating art. We're creating something that should be functional in a modern way, harmonic, maybe a minimalistic way. So, yeah. Challenge yourself. Yes, I think that. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Is there any sites that showcase lots of things you can do with Bootstrap? I think there is when you go on the
I'm
homepage,
creating the
right?
Bootstrap templates, for the international market. And I had a challenge really to create with the latest trends, of course, to create maybe a different things, not just take one template and that is the same. So it's interesting.
Okay. You recommended Adobe Fireworks, is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not been very
Updated.
well maintained for a couple of years.
Yes.
So do you know of any alternatives that people could look at?
Even if it wasn't updated, you don't need to be updated because you have already the things that you need to create those wireframes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so faster. You can create a wireframe or a prototype or a mock-up, whatever, via Fireworks for about half an hour. In Photoshop, it's a little bit hard for that. I recommend Fireworks, even if that is the version 5 years ago. Whatever. We don't have the latest softwares, all of us, in some countries. Well, yes.
Have you tried any of the browser-based ones like, if anyone here used InVision or Zeppelin?
Oh, no.
I don't like. Okay. Oh, there's some waving hands at the back there.
Yeah.
Okay. There's lots of people who are worried about atomic design sort of inhibiting creativity and out-of-the-box thinking again.
I just want to say a few words about that. I think that why are you all talking about we are losing our creativity when we are not losing our creativity? That creativity is that typography, is that color. You have the bold colors now, the typography. Yes, you have so many, we have 3 columns, but what is wrong with that? Do something else. Really, I think that when we are talking about creativity, there are lots of, for example, templates with CSS grid, yes, but they're not, it's great, the CSS grid, but maybe it's not working in some browser. And the client want that. Oh, it's not working in this and there. And then I want it to work in, not the same, but just to be optimized. And with so many devices, we're not losing our creativity, people. Yeah, I think that for the last 6 years, the time of web design has come. They think now nothing is changing. Yes, it is. I mean, be creative with the typography. Don't put the hero section with the background image. Put just the typography. Some nice typography, 2 or 3 fonts. The bold colors from the 80s. I'm the child of the 80s, and I would really like everything to be bold colors.
So
not my clothes. Okay.
So the previous speaker was talking about CSS frameworks like Bootstrap and saying that, you know, there's a lot of code in there that you don't use, so maybe people might not want to use that. But are you sort of saying, you know, sometimes it doesn't matter, we just sort of want to get something out?
Yes, when the clients never ask me what I use, they just want to see that they are online. In my country, locally, there are not so many websites. They have Facebook and Instagram, so the social media. The social media is just the part. Your website is your brand. You can express your creativity with your personal website. That is a challenge to me. And then start from there. No, the website is not, the website maybe are looking the same in trends, but again, I don't have any problem with it. They are modern, they are balanced, they are, the code is great. The code to me is great, honestly, and I really love Bootstrap, and don't hate me because I love Bootstrap. And the grid is fun, and the components, again, that is the design system with pre-built components. So we'll use it.
Do you feel like something like that makes it more accessible to designers who come from a sort of less traditional web background?
How I learned.
Not less traditional. I suppose we're the less traditional ones. I don't know. But
How I learned Bootstrap a couple of years ago, I took some skeleton templates and then I reused them. So I used that concept of the components for recycling just to learn. Mm-hmm. So I think that's it. That's fine. I don't see any problem. Why are we creating so much problems with that? I mean, it's very individual, so it depends from us how we're gonna work on that.
Okay. There's some questions about your process when you're doing atomic design. So.
Can you turn the microphone off and use that one?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
We can swap.
Yes. Hello.
Okay. So, yeah. Where was I? Atomic design.
Atomic design.
So when you're designing these things, do you start from a lower level or a higher level? And like how much detail do you get into straight away? Or is that something you, like, do you start small or big? Or?
As I said, within 2 to 3 days, I sent to the homepage to the client. So that communication is the most important. Really listen to the client, what they want. Maybe you had some project that was similar. I mean, the client contact you and they say, I want to create something like this, some finished project of yours. It's not the same, it won't look the same, but you will start from there. Again, I mean, you will start from there and then you will recycle it based on what the client wants, based on your creativity. Clients want simple, clean thing with the good information, with so many devices. Everything changed with responsive design. And I really like that. I don't like how the websites looked before 2010. They were with bells and whistles to me. Now they are really minimalistic. And it can be more, of course, better. Everything can be better. So it's up to us, I think.
Cool. There's a few questions about, I don't know if this is something you've done, but sort of CMS integration into that, if the client wants to edit something. Like, have you had any thoughts or opinions about that?
For the small business, I use WordPress, and I don't use WordPress templates for the small business because the client wants something from scratch. First, I'm creating HTML, CSS, and then PHP for this small business. So you have four files that you need for the PHP for WordPress. You need header PHP, footer PHP, index PHP, and page PHP. And of course the style, just you have to update that, but it is not complicated at all.
So would you send the client your HTML mockups without WordPress first?
No,
and
no, no,
then
no.
integrate
HTML.
Later?
Well, the WordPress is used so they can update the content. The main thing is HTML.
Mm-hmm.
So with regard to that, you can create a WordPress website as a small business website in a day. I mean, WordPress, and install and create the PHP files. I'm talking about a small business one. I don't create a medium or e-commerce. They are harder. So, and you need a day or two. So to test it again, to see if the clients cope with that. All right, that's okay to me. Yeah.
Great. All right, well, we're there. Any
Thank
more
you,
closing
people.
remarks? Any closing remarks?
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was funny a little bit,
Thank
but
you.
okay.